Good morning, everyone. We're out here today brush hogging a pasture for a client. It's not very often that Travis and I get to come out and do this together. Sometimes we're doing our chores separately, but today we both happen to be off and we were able to come do this together, and we are blessed and happy to be out here working.
It is early in the morning. Not real early, obviously, because the sun's up, but just came over here to get the tractor all fired up and ready. We were at someone's property that pays us to brush hog for them. So just coming through, checking the oil and stuff. I actually already checked it, but definitely full.
So proud to be living in the USA.
Probably overfilled that a little bit. That's okay. Check that hydraulic fluid. Which is right here. Probably can't see it. We're on a slope, but this one's all cloudy. You can't see anything through it. But this is the high side, and this is the full one. And it's both full, so it's about 35 degrees this morning, and our tractor's old enough it does not have glow plugs. So sometimes that makes it interesting when it's time to start it. Okay. There we go. And find the key. And let's see. It's on. We'll fired right up. Oh, that's good. Well, we'll let her warm up a little bit. Then Chrissy came with. She's gonna help brush hog. She's in the truck right now. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
On our way to go brush hog a pasture for a client. Travis hauling the tractor and brush hog out to the pasture now. And I am following along in the truck.
Adjust the height of this wing. So we made our own homemade ones. So if you shorten this up, like so, a couple of turns, it's gonna raise the wing. So these are ones that we made. There's some that came on it, but they were just worn out and they couldn't adjust anymore. Anyways, the shorter this link is, the more it pushes this wheel down to raise that wing up. You want them to be as close to level as possible, because if they're not, what happens is they'll start hitting the metal right here. We don't want them to.
And now we're gonna get back to brush hogging. We ran into a little trouble while we were brush hogging this afternoon. We popped a tire. Thanks to Weber's Farm and Home, we were able to get the inner tube replaced. And once we get this tire back on here, we'll be back in business.
So, yesterday we popped a tire while we were brush hogging. Then we did it again. We had to keep airing it up, trying to limp home. We made it home, mainly because I don't like leaving my equipment outside in the rain. So I'd rather limp home and also be able to work on it here in the barn where it's dry. Might be a gravel floor, not concrete or nothing, but it's still a lot better in that aspect. Just because the simple fact that I have to sit in the rain and be cold and everything else. So I'm gonna have to use two different jacks. So I'll jack this up as high as I can with the first one, and hopefully from there I'll be able to put this one in. I would have aired the tire up again, but it went so flat overnight that the valve stem is inside the rim and I can't get it out to air it up. So we'll just do it this way. Times like now, a pneumatic jack would be really convenient. Oh, yeah, it does. As you can see, I like using concrete blocks. Wood blocks are good too. But the problem with wood blocks is they'll crack and crumble, which I mean concrete will too if you get enough weight on it. But there's nothing that I own that is heavy enough that should be able to crush a concrete block, I would say. Helps whenever you have the jack tightened so it'll go up. So there we go. Oh. Yeah, it's working. These jacks are overkill for this tractor. That little short one is a 20-ton jack. A little stubby bottle jack, and this taller one here is a 12-ton. The tractor here weighs about 17,000 pounds with the loader on it. So it's better to have jacks that are too heavy for what you're doing than not heavy enough, because right now I won't have to worry about the jack being able to hold it. Oops. I forgot my phone was on top of it. Alright. Now looking at this, I think my steering cylinder is leaking. Yes, I can see it is. So that looks like a project probably for next week. Take those we'll take the steering cylinder off of here, and I'll probably take the hydraulic cylinder off of the Batwing I've got one there that's leaking too, so I'll probably just take them both in. There's a place here in Bucyrus, about 15 or so minutes from where we're at here in Roby, and they rebuild hydraulic cylinders to do a really good job. It doesn't cost that much to have them do it. So at the end of the day, could I take it apart and do it myself? I'm sure I could. But these guys have all the tools. They have machining presses. They have everything that you could possibly need for any repairs on these hydraulic cylinders. So if there's something a little more than just the seal's wrong with it, they'll be able to fix it, whereas I'll have to bring a bunch of parts into somebody and say, hey, can you fix this? So it's best just to let them do it in that case. Some stuff I won't mess with. Automatic transmissions are one thing. Hydraulic cylinders I generally won't, just because they have a lot of pressure. You know, the automatic transmissions I don't mess with because it's really expensive for the parts. The Allison and our Duramax is built, and Strine Power Pros did it. They did an excellent job, and for the amount of money that they charge over parts, it's just not worth it for me to do it for $500 or so over parts. I'll just have them do it. The last time we brought a truck in for them to do, they were done in 24 hours. I mean, we were on a tight schedule, and he made that work for us. But he literally dropped the transmission early that morning, cleaned everything up, took it apart, cleaned all the insides up, rebuilt it, put it back together, had it back in the truck, everything checked out and ready to go that evening. But Chrissy picked her up the next morning. Let me grab the impact and grab the impact. We'll take that tire off. We'll run it up to Weber's. They're a local farm and home store. They're literally about 1.5 miles away. A lot of times I drive the side-by-side up there. However, today with it being rainy and crappy out, I'll probably take the truck. I'm not gonna lie, I was the biggest naysayer about side-by-sides when they came out. It's like, I'm not gonna spend that kind of money. I could buy a nice used truck to beat around them. But the thing is they're so light, they don't tear up the pastures. You know, they're actually pretty reliable. They get really good fuel mileage too for what they are. And you know, something breaks on that side-by-side, like a CV shaft or anything like that, it's cheaper to buy a CV shaft for that than it would be for a full-size truck. So, plus the fuel, you know, like I said, I use a lot less fuel with that than I would driving around a full-size pickup, and then the ruts and everything else that the full-size pickup is likely to make because of how much more it weighs than the side-by-side. The side-by-side really is just the all-around winner on that. All right, let me grab the impact. Yes, I have 3 lug nuts that are different size. It was like that when I bought the tractor. I have not changed them, and I probably won't. Mainly because I almost always have this impact, and I have that socket set with me, and I also have a deep well socket set that I always take, whether I'm in the tractor or the truck, if I'm going to do some work somewhere. It's just convenient to have them with you. I really like this DeWalt impact. It's a 1/2-inch drive, 20 volt, excellent tool, and it's made in the USA. Yes, I know it has components that aren't made in the USA, I got that, but alright, back, we got our new one. I already put the lug nuts on. I honestly I forgot to start recording, so I'll tighten that one. That one. There we go. We actually put a new inner tube. Marcus was actually able to patch it, so it saves me about half the price, but it's actually convenient in that aspect. You know, when you go to a brush hog for other people, obviously your goal is to make money, but if you keep popping tires the whole time, it starts cutting into your profit real quick. So, got little tubes out here. Always store your jacks closed, otherwise this surface right here starts getting rusted, depending on how often you're using them, I guess. Both of those good. That don't need air compressor. Jack handle is good. Strap that over there. Well, that's done. I think we're gonna go to the other side, and my new starter should be in hopefully tomorrow. So I'm gonna take the old starter off, and I'll take that with me tomorrow, and then pick it up and drop the old one off. Napa is an excellent company to work with. They're always helping me out. Usually finding parts that I can't find, even online. They usually find somewhere some way to find one, and it works out well for us. The starter, I replaced it earlier this week. Saturday. They got a new one in, threw it on, and you know, basically what happens is whenever you go to engage the starter, it won't disengage, and it's dangerous because if it continues to draw current from the batteries, even if it can't do anything, it's still drawing that current and gets those wires incredibly hot, and it can catch fire. The way a starter works is there's a solenoid, so whenever your ignition, when you press the start button or you turn the key to engage the starter, whenever you let off of that start button or when you let off that key and go back to the on position, it should stop. Now, the problem is it doesn't, and I tried it with the power connected only for basically the batteries were connected to the starter, but nothing else, and I jumpered it across the solenoid and it still does it. Somehow, someway, there's a flaw in that starter. That starter also makes a lot of noise internally, not where the gear is engaging the flywheel, but the starter itself inside of it. It's making a lot of noise, so there's something that's not right with it. But the company is making it right. They sent a new one to Napa, so it should be good. So we're gonna go ahead and get that one off, so that way it'll be quicker and easier to put the new one on. Hey everyone, we got the starter off and everything. However, I'm going to save that for another video because I'm going to do it all together where I remove the starter, put the new one on, just so you can kind of see the whole concept of how that process works. But there's no kids in this video, as you can see from this week. It was just a mommy and daddy week, and that's okay. Sometimes we need time to just be with ourselves. So just how it worked out. But don't worry, next week it'll be nothing but kids. Well, mostly kids. Gotta have supervision. Alright, thanks everyone. Again, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment down below. That helps the YouTube algorithm make it to where it'll recommend our videos for other people that are interested in the same things that you are. And then also it'll recommend it higher in the list than what it would if it didn't have as many likes. We appreciate that. That's the biggest and best way that you can help out our farm. But for the rest of this week, that's it. And we will see you all next week. Have a blessed week and be careful.